I'm going to preface this before anything. I'm just going to tell you right now, this is advanced level stuff. This here is what Brett says, Jumanji level 10. I do not advise anyone to use this process unless you are able to really troubleshoot things and have patience, okay? So I just really, really want to open it up with that. Now, having said that, let's kind of go through this case here. Taylor has a course. It's $2,000. He's got a 2-pay option and a 3-pay option. But the thing is, let's say, for example, the person who pays the one payment, they have access to the whole course. That makes absolute sense, right? But what about those people who make multiple payments? So it's a 2-pay or a 3-pay and they pay 1 month after each other. What if they miss out on that second or third payment, but they still have access to that entire course? So one of the ways to mitigate that, especially for the higher end paid courses like this $2,000 program that Taylor has, one of the ways to mitigate that is by dripping that content. Now, the thing right now, though, in courses through Evolve is that you can drip courses to everyone or don't drip at all. And so you can't really say drip it, like give it all to the people who pay once, but then drip it out to the people who don't pay once. You can't do that right now. So what you actually have to do is this. You have to create 2 courses. So let's just use the 2-pay option as an example. So Taylor has, for example, 3, but let's just disregard this third payment. Only just pretend there's 2. Okay, so there's a $19.97 and a $10.97. So the 2-payment option, the $10.97 comes out right away. $10.97 1 month later. All right. So with that, there's 2 payments there. You also need to create 2 courses. So you're going to go into your membership section. You're going to go to products and you're going to create, for example, this one, Legal Edge Academy Volume 1 and Legal Edge Academy Volume 2. Okay, it's very important to do that. So right now, Taylor has Legal Edge Academy all in one course, but you've got to create Volume 1 and Volume 2 or Part 1, Part 2, or Part A or Part B. Whatever you want to name that, it's got to be into 2 different things. What happens is your offers here is you've got Legal Edge. So there's going to be Legal Edge Academy single pay and then Legal Edge Academy 2-pay. Right? So the Legal Edge Academy single pay is going to grant access to both Legal Edge Academy Volume 1 and Legal Edge Academy Volume 2. But if somebody does the 2-pay, the offer that's going to be given to them is going to be only Legal Edge Academy Volume 1. And then after the second payment is received, then they will release Legal Edge Academy Volume 2. So the workflow for this is going to be a little bit different. Okay, we're going to be sending people down a couple of different paths. So there are some conditions that are going to happen. So by default, or well, initially, let's just go down the 1-pay path. All right. So you can see here that this order is submitted. It's the 1-pay. So you can see that I've chosen the global product, Legal Edge Academy, product price. Now, Taylor mentioned Legal Edge Academy as the single pay price. So I'm just selecting that here. The other option is the 2-pay, but we're only going to select the 1-pay option here. So that's the Legal Edge Academy. All right. Now, from that, now we go into a condition state. So because we have 2 different triggers here, we need to send the person down the correct path on those triggers. If you want to see what the other trigger is, it's a payment has been received for the multi-pay. All right. So let's disregard that. Let's just go towards this first 1-pay option only. Excuse me. Now, what I've done is I've set a condition. It's an if, when, or if then. So one branch is going to be called if the pay is 1-pay, then the workflow trigger up here is the order submitted 1-pay. The other option is it's the 2-pay option where the workflow trigger up here was the multi-pay payment received. Okay, so once that condition is created, anybody who goes down the 1-pay path, because the trigger up here is the 1-pay, what we're going to do is we're going to unlock both of those offers. Remember, so there's offer for Volume 1 and an offer for volume 2. So you're going to create an offer option here, course grant offer. That's the action you're going to select. And now I wrote this down, change this to be part 1 of the course because I didn't create any new offers under Taylor's account, right? So there's going to be, remember, Legal Edge Academy Volume 1, Legal Edge Academy Volume 2. So in this one, this will be the Volume 1 selection. And then the second one, this one changes to the part 2. So this is going to be Legal Edge Volume 2. And then I have a 30-second wait, so you can do decimal points here. So this is a 30-second wait time, and then sending out the email, which basically says, hey, welcome to Legal Edge Academy. Here's your login information. You'll be prompted to create a password. Now remember, your one link to send them for a login, it's a magic link. It looks like this. So you're going to click on any blank spot. You're going to click on custom values. You're going to search for magic. Okay, and it'll look like that. So what I do is I cut that, and then I select the text that I'd like to hyperlink, and then I paste that here. That way they just click on the link versus seeing this big ugly URL that has a code and all that stuff. Okay, so this one here says you've got it all, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Now, so when they click that, they're going to be prompted for their password if this is their first time in your system, and then they're done, right? So that's done here. Now, the only thing I did not do here is to add a tag. Add a tag, Taylor. Just, create this one. I think Taylor called it Legal Edge Academy. There we go. Legal Edge Academy. Okay. So add that one, and then done. The person has access to the full system. Now, the more complex part comes down to this. What if the person goes down the multi-pay option? So in this case, what we're not going to do is we're not going to create an order submitted trigger. We're actually going to say payment received because there's going to be 2 payments. So if we just say order submitted, every single order, even if the single pay or the double pay is going to be triggered. We only want the and we're not going to be able to track that second payment because that's not an order, it's a payment. So take a look at this. So this trigger here is the payment received trigger. And what we're doing is we're still selecting the Legal Edge Academy product, right? Because remember, the product has 2 or 3, in this case, he has 3, but we're just talking about 2. The payment status is success, and the product price is going to be the 2 payments price. Okay. Now, what happens here is this will be triggered when that first payment is triggered, and then they're going to go into this condition state. The condition state says, okay, they were triggered from here, which means that, they go down this path. So that first payment's going to go down here, and then we add another condition or a filter. So on this condition, this one basically says, has the first payment been received or not? That's all it is. So if the first payment has not been received yet, and this is the first time, this will become the true statement, right? So this one says, when the tag does not include Legal Edge Academy to pay first payment received. The other option I've created is the payment has been received, which means that that is going to be this tag here, which is already on their account. Okay, so if the tag's not there or if the tag's there. Now, what we're going to do is, let's say this is their first payment. So they initially ordered on the 2-pay option. They're going to go down this trigger here. They're going to go to this down here. It's going to say, hey, do they have that tag of the first payment or not? If they do not, this is their first payment. They're going to go down this path over here. So this one says only grant them part 1 volume, right? So again, remember, I didn't create the volume 1 and volume 2. This is pretend, switch this to volume 1. So now they have access to volume 1, but not volume 2. Wait 30 seconds and then send them the email with, again, that magic link that lets them log in. And because this is their first time, you're going to put this little statement. You'll be prompted to create a password if this is your first time with us. Volume 1 has been unlocked for you. Once your second payment has successfully processed, volume 2 will be unlocked. So now, after that first payment has been processed and I've sent that email, what ends up happening is we're going to add a tag to that person's account saying the first payment has been received. And this is going to be very important. The reason why is because once that payment has been received and that tag is added, on the second month, or like 30 days-ish after their first payment, their card is going to be charged again, or an attempt is going to be made. If the card attempt is a failure, so they don't have enough money or they cancel their card or whatever that is, this will not trigger, right? Because this is waiting for a successful payment return message from Stripe or whoever platform that you're using. All right. So if it fails, they don't get access to volume 2. However, when it does successfully go through the second charge, this trigger or this workflow will be triggered one more time because it's a successful payment based on this product, the 2 payment option here. Right. So here we go. The trigger is set. Then they're going to go through the automation. It's part of the 2 pay automation. Then the condition here again says, has the payment not been received? Well, if this first payment tag is not included in their profile. But the thing is, we did include that tag over here after that first successful charge. So what ends up happening is that it actually goes down the second path. The first payment is or has been received because the tag is present. So now because that tag is present, now we're going to say, let's unlock volume 2. Remember, just pretend this says volume 2. We're going to wait a half a minute. And then we're going to send out another email. And this one says, hey, volume 2 of Legal Edge Academy has been unlocked. Click here to log in. And then just to close the loop, I say, add this tag that says second payment received. Okay, so this will be kind of like that fail safe for you to ensure that your entire expense, of course, is not released, given that they haven't completed their payments for the program. Now, in Taylor, your example, you have a 3 pay option as well. You're just going to have to add another trigger, right? Like you'll be basically adding first, second, and third payment, and you'll have 3 options down here, right? So here you're going to say another branch tags include the second payment received. And then if that's yes and yes for the first and second payment, then you'll say that go down the third path, unlock the volume 3, wait half a minute, send them another email that says, hey, volume 3 has been unlocked. Okay, so that's the only difference for you. Again, this is a little bit more advanced stuff. I really, really want to let most of you guys know that this is not the option or the avenue that I want you to go down. Okay. Right now, let's leave it more simple, but at least now you have the instructions on how to do this as you become more familiar with Evolve. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching this very Jumanji level video. If you guys have any questions, comment below. Cheers.